Hello, everyone. Don't be surprised. And yes, you are in the right virtual conference event, which is TaiyangNews What's Hot in European Solar R&D. Welcome to day 3, the final day of TaiyangNews What's Hot in European Solar R&D event. My name is Shravan Chunduri. I'm Head of Technology at TaiyangNews. And basically, today I'm replacing my colleague, Michael Schmela, at least for some part of the event, as he's just getting his corona vaccination shot done. So to those who are joining for the first time today, this event is exceptional to us at TaiyangNews. Our team in India, China, and Germany is hosting the event as usual, as in the past. But the idea and the agenda comes from GoPV, HighLite, HiPERION, Super PV. That's 4 European major solar R&D projects funded under EU's Horizon 2020 research program. Thanks a lot to everyone from these projects who has been contributing to this event. A couple of words about housekeeping. We try to keep our TaiyangNews events very simple. So that's why we use Zoom, which is known and accessible everywhere. And please use the chat room function not only to ask questions to presenters, but also to answer any questions and comments. We actually see this also as a virtual coffee room where you can chat with anyone around publicly. So this is a non-moderated chat area. So please keep the netiquette and be always nice with your comments, even if you don't agree with the statements from what is possibly a competitor. Next slide. Yeah, so we will see the detailed agenda in coming slides. Next slide, please. A few words about the general structure. On each of the 3 days of this event, we have been having presenters from 4 projects under a daily theme. So after day 1 was on high efficiency cells and modules, day 2 on advanced manufacturing. Today is about approaches to reduce LCOE of PV systems. And the structure actually remains the same. After a brief intro of one of the project coordinators, about 2 hours of presentations from all 4 projects, followed by a final panel discussion. Next slide. After the 2 earlier panels agreed on the need for further support of European solar R&D sector and acknowledging that the policymakers need to create the right financing environment to establish notable European PV manufacturing across the value chain. So we will discuss today the demand side of the end market, distributed and central PV system applications. Next slide. Actually, I would like to take this opportunity to say a few words about TaiyangNews, especially for those who don't know us. Actually, TaiyangNews is an open platform where we publish reports and market surveys on various topics. So recently, we have extensively covered large wafer-based module, and we have also published a recent market survey on solar trackers. So the key differentiation is all these reports can be accessed for free from the report section of our website. So before I hand it over to Stephane Guillerez, I just would like to give you a quick summary of yesterday's presentation, in case you missed it. The yesterday's, Erika Serenta from SUPSI gave the first presentation yesterday. She emphasized the importance of digitization and data management in manufacturing to reduce the costs. Next slide. Xiang Ma from Sintef was a co-presenter of the topic, and he explained Advantage of data management, taking lamination station of module making as an example, and how it can help to reduce the costs. Tuka Savisalo from Vale emphasized the benefits of IBC in many consumer applications and stressed that vertically integrated production with flexible production platforms offers extensive customization capabilities. Then Michael Grimm from laser tool supplier 3D Micromac, while explaining the competitive advantages of non-destructive cutting, which is thermal laser separation. He also presented a high throughput laser cutting tool platform, which is very beneficial for shingling. Next slide. And Lorenzo Serasti from Applied Materials has presented the interconnection part of the shingling technology. He also presented a very high throughput platform, which is adapted to larger wafer formats. Next slide. Delphine Petri from CSEM explained the complete fabrication process for hybrid PV modules, combining PV and CPV technologies. And finally, Eduardo Celi from Italian research company RSE presented the dynamic maximum power point tracking algorithm, especially designed for strong variance in shading. Next slide. Now to GoPV coordinator, Stephane Guillerez, to let us know more details on what we can expect today. Stephane, the floor is yours. Stephane?
So now can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I try to share my screen. Yeah, I'm sorry. So I put it. Okay, I'm sorry. Do you see the first line, and can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So thank you. So I'm Stephane Guillerez. I'm working in CEA at INES in France, and I'm the coordinator of the GoPV project. So today it's my pleasure to introduce this morning session, the last one of the joint web conference, and it's focused on approaches to reduce the LCOE of PV system. And I think the four projects that are currently running, they consider the LCOE as a very important assessment of all the technology development that are made inside this project. And in fact, we have to validate each. I think it's very important to validate the development by assessing their impact on the cost of PV electricity. Saying that, I think that the cost of PV electricity is probably not the only driver for the PV, allowing the PV deployment, but it's probably the most important one. As we have also to be economically competitive towards the other electricity sources. Nevertheless, if we want to deploy massively low carbon footprint electricity, we need to produce for the direct use of electricity in our houses, in our vehicles, but also to produce green fuels like hydrogen. So we have a massive deployment in front of us, and it's very, let's say, it's very important that the cost is competitive. And the LCOE is let's say one of the indicator of the competitiveness of the PV electricity. So what is behind the this word, this magic word, LCOE? So the levelized cost of electricity is the just the total cost of the PV plant divided by the total energy production. Now, so the expression is very, I just keep this expression very simple just to illustrate it with the different concepts that are contained in it. For the cost, the first part is the capex, so is the capital expenditure, is the cost of the that you have to pay for the plant when it starts its operation. It consists in the energy procurement and construction cost, the grid connection fees, the financing of the debt, and also the cost of all the PV components, which are module, the mounting structures, the inverters, the cable, and so on. Another part of the cost is the operational expenditure, and it's mainly the operation and maintenance. But you have other annual or yearly expenses, as the insurance cost, the land rental, and so on. And on the denominator, you have the energy production, so the total production during the whole lifetime of the plant. And again, it contains the nominal power of your PV plant. It depends on the location, through the global hybridization, but also it depends on really technical let's say concepts, which are the lifetime, the energy efficiency, and the energy availability of the PV plant. Sorry. So I will I should say also that all these concepts, they are not only related to economic, to cost, but they also contain a part of use of material and gray energy. So very often, when you reduce the cost, you also reduce the use of material, and you reduce the use of energy to build the PV component, and also to build and operate the plant. So when you are doing efforts in lowering the cost, you are also, let's say, achieving, you are also doing improvement in the in the environmental impact of the PV electricity, and that is very important, because I think that we can really go together with the economic efficiency of the PV electricity, and also with the its sustainable development. So it's very important to address the LCOE, and not seeing it only as an economical impact, but also with the improvement of the life cycle of the PV electricity. So this session this morning, we will not address all the concepts that I was just talking about, but a few of them, and I just been some keywords beside the title of the presentations. So we will have 6 presentations this morning for the 4 projects. The first hour we have 1 presentation from HighLite and two presentations from GoPV. The second hour we have also 3 presentations. So 2 from Super PV and 1 from HiPERION. And we will finish the session, the morning session, with the panel discussion, and that will address the role of the centralized and distributed PV in the European transition energy transition. So with that, I finished, and I give the floor to the organizer.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for this keynote and introduction.